Well, in the case of Semaglutide, I think what you'll come to see that they made this drug for diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and it was sort of an accident that it started working for weight loss. I mean, these people were losing weight. They weren't even trying to lose weight. They were just trying to take care of their diabetes and live a normal life. But here they are. What's the best tool you can come up with for this whole Wegovy diet thing? Guess what? I think I found it. It's a stretchy belt. Okay, I got this on Amazon. All you have to do is search under woven stretch belts and you'll find a whole bunch from $10 to $25. And frankly, you just don't need a belt loop anywhere. There is no belt loop. You can just keep making it tighter and tighter and tighter until you're really pretty tiny. So it's a great find, thumbs up. And I'm excited to have something like this. I'm sure you want to know, how many belt loops have I really gone down? Well, you see, I don't know because I'm actually not using a conventional belt. I've been using a stretchy belt all along. And it's not to get myself extra inches, it's to decrease the inches and hold up my pants. So, I know that's too much information, but that's one of the purposes of a belt. Part is fashion, nice colors here, you gotta give me credit for that. Thumbs up. But really, this is to help hold up the old pantaroonies. That's the story. So I'm all in, and I now have 2 or 3 of these kinds of things, and frankly, they're very helpful. So it goes with weight loss that you're gonna need smaller pants and you're gonna need tighter belts. Well, I'm on board with that. So I will just toss those over there and we'll get on with the regular show. No, I'm not a commercial for any particular belt company, just for a whole genre of belts that I have found to be very helpful as you go through this journey, or as I go through this journey. I can only really talk about me, my experience. It's been very helpful. So that must mean, yes, I've lost weight. But let's step back a bit, okay? Let's talk about what is my purpose for creating these videos and sharing them with you. Because it isn't really to tell you, oh, if you take Wegovy, you're going to lose weight. Semaglutide, it's just been known to lose weight for a while now. I think they stumbled onto it accidentally, actually. They made this drug for diabetes. We know that. It started out, it was called Ozempic. I've seen a lot of those Ozempic commercials. They seem to come on a lot of shows that I watch. I mean, we all know the jingle. Oh, Ozempic. Well, you don't want to get me going and singing. That'll sure turn you off. But please, give me another minute or two. I won't sing anymore, at least not on this video. And it's not my jingle, it's their jingle. We've heard it. I had no idea. I mean, so many of these pharmaceutical company commercials, I have no idea what the product is. They have people there smiling, they're old. I mean, they're just doing normal things. I guess that's the point for these people. They weren't doing normal things. They were inhibited. And so the drug is enabling them to conquer issues that had been there before. But again, I have no idea what the drug is about. I mean, who would ever buy these drugs if you actually listen to all the side effects that come on at the end of any of these commercials? I mean, these things basically could kill everybody if you listen to them. And clearly they're not, because these guys are making a lot of money from doing things. Well, in the case of Semaglutide, I think what you'll come to see that they made this drug for diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and it was sort of an accident that it started working for weight loss. I mean, these people were losing weight. They weren't even trying to lose weight. They were just trying to take care of their diabetes and live a normal life. But here they are. They're losing weight, and a lot of weight, something like 15% of their body mass. So if someone was 200 pounds, they're losing 30 pounds, and this was within 6 or 12 months. I mean, the studies are out there. So then they sat up and they said, holy cow, we might have something way beyond diabetes. They sat in their office, they said, hey, we should do a study of some people who don't have diabetes, but who are willing to take this drug just for weight loss. And so they did that, et voila, the rest is history. They found out that those people also lost something like 14.7, or maybe that was the study. The other one was just that people were losing lots of weight. But they started to study the diabetes people, they started to study the non-diabetes people, and they just found out they're losing lots of weight. So this is now not a mystery anymore. I mean, maybe there are some people who can't stand the drug, and therefore it'll be ineffective. They'll have to stop it. I don't think there are that many people who take the drug and don't lose weight. There may be a small percentage. There's always going to be, a bell curve, so to speak, of those that it works for, those that it doesn't, and there'll be outliers on the two ends. We learned that in basic science or math. and you just hope that you're not one of those outliers, that you're right there, in the sweet spot. Or yes, that's what we're all hoping for. We're hoping that we are losing weight because of the drug with few to minimal side effects or manageable side effects. So this is not something that I'm really here. I mean, it is the juice, it is the news, but I'm not really here to tell you that, Wegovy works, because you already know it works for most people. But I'm also trying to do it in a different way. No, I didn't find people asking this or answering this. Maybe they're out there, but not the majority of them. I mean, the majority of them are talking about sort of the to-dos, how to give yourself a shot, where to give yourself a shot, what about your side effects, and how much weight did you lose? Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 30, week 50, week 60, that's a year or so. How much weight did people lose? And that's the big reveal, that's the big report. That's what people want to know, certainly, and that's what people are sharing. But people are not talking about their experience with food over the course of taking this drug. How does that change? I guess most people probably overweight like to eat food. I mean, I like to eat food. I have to just raise my hand, count me in. Okay, I consider myself even a foodie. So that's why I don't like this, I call it the RAD diet, but the diet that I'm on. I mean, look at the diet I'm on. I'm eating just so few carbs and a lot of meat, basically. 10 to 20 carbs. It's some hybrid of keto and Atkins. I'm sure they call it a bastardization. It is. I'm not really trying to say it's their diet. It's my diet right now. I don't know if it's good or bad. It is working because it was working before I took Wegovy, which was, this is part of my New Year's resolution. So this all started in January. I think it started slowly in January. It had some hiccups, it had some days off and some other things. I don't think it really started to kick into high gear, to February, March, and then I started on Wegovy, I think it's around the week before February 5th. So it would be the end of March was my first shot. It's been a couple weeks, and that's what I'm here to tell you about. But I'm really also here to share, not just the numbers. Yes, of course, I will tell you the numbers. Everybody wants to know the numbers, and I'll give you the numbers. But more what the journey is like, again, in terms of, if I put it up to some philosophical thing, man's relationship with food on Wegovy. And that's sort of the theme or the sub-theme of all my reports. Well, some go, a little bit far and wide, like a Bruins game and other things. And so that's a sub-theme, an undercurrent of all my reports. I'm trying to share with you, first of all, I'm trying to learn for myself, because I can't stay on this RAD diet, this hybrid interpreted Atkins / keto diet. I don't see staying on this my whole life. I mean, it just gets too boring. So I intend to veer to something, and the idea of eating a better mix of food, a wider range of foods in smaller portions, long-term basis, sounds both healthier and more enjoyable. And hey, we all want to have fun. I think, all of us that got overweight, I'm sure we all like food. It's not like we're eating a lot of food and we don't enjoy it. It is satisfying. So I think with Wegovy, it's just less satisfying. You feel full. So, part of it is feeling like you're filling yourself up in a satisfying way, and that's one of the reasons people eat. So with Wegovy, you're supposed to start to feel full. Your brain is supposed to be tricked up here so that you feel full down there. That's a line I've been saying, and that's the point of it all. That's my understanding of the point of it all. And so this is where I'm coming from. So when you see me in different vignettes, or I'm talking about different scenarios, or I'm talking about what I'm eating, it's because I'm trying to discern what the effect of this is and how my relationship with food is going to change as I go through this process and as I take this drug, which is very strong. Now, mind you, I'm at a tiny portion on this drug, a tiny dose, 0.25 milligrams. That's a tiny portion when you think of the maximum portion, way up here. That's just about 10%, 2.4 actually. So when you think about the maximum dose, 2.4, that's where you get to in month 5 if you step it up every month. 0.25, 0.5, 1.0, 1.5, and 2.4, or 1.7 and 2.4, something like that. And so people step it up over. So I'm right now at just about 10% of the maximum dose. Therefore, I think there's not much of this drug in me. Once a week and I'm 10% of the maximum. So the reason there's not much is my doctor says this is to protect against a reaction, a non-manageable reaction to side effects, more extreme side effects. Take it up on this gradual basis. That's what they recommend. I'm all in. I think that's a good idea. I don't want any side effects. And I have some. So at least one that I've discussed and we'll discuss again here and what I'm doing about it. But I'm fine as it goes up in small increments. And that's the story, that's the plan. And so I don't know that what I'm reporting today in terms of my relationship with food, do I feel hungry? What do I enjoy? Well, I expect that's going to be different when I'm at 3, 4, 5 times the dosage. And of course I'll share that. And so that's what I think is different, or that's my intention, and maybe there are a couple or some other people out there. I see mostly people, again, who are taking this drug, and or I see clinicians, doctors and nurses and others who are talking about the drug. And I think there's one out there who's talking and taking it, and they're talking about the shots, they're talking about their reactions, they're talking about their weight loss, they're talking about their numbers, but they're not sort of getting into this relationship, sort of the sexy part. I mean, we like food, and we want to know what life is going to be like with food down the line as we take this drug. And so that's what I'm sharing with you. So let's get into it right now. I'm gonna have a sip, the big reveal. We're gonna get to the numbers. Again, I drink so much of this stuff, it's delicious. This is the drink. It's called sparkling ice. It's a carbonated water, and this is black cherry flavor. There's also a black raspberry that I like a lot that's very ssimilar, and a bunch of other flavors. They might have 5 or 10 flavors, at least 5, maybe 7 to 10. And they're delicious. I mean, this is not like water. It tastes delicious. But it is a liquid. It does count as like water if you're trying to drink. Well, they say drink 8 glasses a day. I can't drink. I mean, this bottle itself here is 34 ounces. So 2 of these whole bottles would do it. I drink between 1 and 2 bottles. I have a hard time drinking more, but this is what I drink. I drink this in the middle of the night. I drink it in the middle of the day. I'm drinking it now. I have nothing to do with this company. I'm not promoting this company. I don't have any stock in this company. I just enjoy the product, and we're all looking for those go-tos, okay? Those things that you can enjoy while you're dieting, because hey, heck, sometimes it's just not easy. And so for me, I like the peanut butter Atkins bars. I like the vanilla and the chocolate and the caramel shakes with my coffee. A half a shake, 10 ounces of coffee is a terrific breakfast for me. And then of course I like my proteins, I like steak. I love the black and blue burger that I get at Market Basket. It's made at the deli counter. It's a thick 8-ounce burger. Around the edge it's got pepper, and in the middle is mixed in as blue cheese. And so I broil that 7-8 minutes on each side. I try to do one to get it a little more charred. I'm going for medium rare. Then I flip it over another 7 minutes or so, and it's done. I don't have to think about it. I mean, boom, boom, time. Ding, it's off. Ready to eat. Actually, I do take out either a cheddar cheese or a slice of American cheese. I put that on top. So now I'm mixing cheeses, blue cheese and American cheese, or cheddar or Swiss. It's absolutely delicious. I put it back in the oven, just close the door, even if it's off. And I mean, I'm talking a toaster oven here. I use a Breville toaster oven, and it's very effective. It works quickly, efficiently, and reliably. Of course, the new thing I've done is I've gotten a rack to put on top of the pan in the oven. So the grease drips down, and in the bottom of the pan, I put aluminum foil. So, when it drips down, I can just wrap that thing up and toss it out. Well, I usually try to save it for 2, 3, 4 meals, probably four or so. And then it starts to get just a little too. And so I move on, of course. But I like the rack. I had a hard time finding one that would fit the pan. I mean, my pan's 13 by 13. They just don't make racks like that size. I've been racking my brain and looking a lot. I haven't found one. So I got one that's like, I think 12 by 12, and you think it would fit nicely inside, but for some reason it doesn't. So it's at a tiny bit of an angle. I highly recommend the rack, especially when you're broiling all these meats in a super clean way. So salt, pepper, maybe sometimes I pump on a little garlic spray. And any of these meats, I do the same thing with sausages. I mean, just poke holes, put them in. There I just let them bake for about 25 minutes and they come out perfect. I like the skin crispy on the outside. Well, I digress. And I've got to get into the numbers here. I know you're anxious to hear that part of it, and then we can get into some more stories. But this is the end of week 2 and the beginning of week 3. I'm going to take my shot tonight. Again, I start and end on Wednesdays. For me, Wednesday is it. It's not Monday, it's not Sunday. The beginning of the week is Wednesday. That's my week. Okay, you can celebrate your week. I have no religious dimension to this week, except for I religiously observe taking a Wegovy shot on Wednesday. So that's the story. And from last week to this week, I lost exactly 3.0 pounds. How do I know exactly? Well, because I have a scale, and I bought a scale from eTech City on Amazon for $29.99 minus a $3 coupon, so it's $27. Now, what I like about it, it actually talks to software on my phone, to an app. It's called the V-Sync. It's almost like WeSync, but VE-Sync. And that app records the trail of my weight every day. It actually does some body mass calculations and some other things. I don't know. There are some sensors on the scale itself that supposedly track that, but I'm not really looking at that. I'm just looking at the weight loss statistics. And so that's basically the story of how I know. So it was 3.0 on the dot between last week and this week, and the prior week was 4.0. So the decrease, the weight loss is becoming less as I'm getting more and more into a regular routine with Wegovy. In general, that's not a great feeling, but you always want I am still losing, so I'm satisfied with that. I think in absolute sense, 3 pounds a week would be fabulous. I mean, that's 12, 13 pounds a month. In 3 months, 30 something pounds. I don't think I'm gonna hit that number, and I don't have to. If I could lose 5, 6 months, if I could lose 35 pounds or so, that would just be fabulous. I think that would be a great outcome. I'm on that way, I'm in that direction, I'm heading in that direction. I don't think losing more than 10 pounds a month is important. I think if I do that, I think I would lose 30 pounds in 3 months. That's nuts, that's fast. I don't think we need to be that hot and heavy. But hey, if it comes, it comes. I'm not gonna put it down. Then we start getting in at some point, what do we do next? Do you go down even more? You look for 40 or 50? Or do you stabilize there and focus on what your lifestyle formula is going to be? Well, we're going to really have to talk about that when we get there. That's really far off, and it's not a good thing to do. Let's focus, on the old one day at a time adage. That's what you want to do. One day at a time. Everybody says it. That's how you run a marathon. Well, probably one step at a time. And this is more of a marathon than a sprint, certainly, how I'm looking at it. So I'm going to take it as things progress. And right now, it's 3 pounds. It was 4 pounds before. That sounds like a slowing down. If it slows down a little more, I'm okay with that. And we'll just have to see where it goes. But right now, yeah, I'll take 4 pounds the first week and 3 pounds the second week. So now the question is, how painful is this? There's nothing really painful about this. That's what I have to tell you. It's pretty much all upside. I mean, I was able to shoot myself, and I am confident I did it again, and I'm confident I'm going to do it again tonight. It just doesn't bother me. I barely feel anything. So that's great. And I'm able to keep taking the drug and stay on this diet, my RAD diet or my hybrid keto Atkins diet or whatever you want to call it. I'm happy to stay within, here and there on it, and I'm pretty tight within the 10 to 20 carbs a day. I rarely go over it. And if I do, it's not intentional. It's because I tried something new by accident, but I don't even try something new by accident. I mean, I won't go to Chinese restaurants because I love Chinese food, and I find they are just unable in the kitchen to make, basically a sauce clean, carb clean dish. So I always find that I go off keto or off the diet. It doesn't work for me. I gain pounds from the Chinese restaurant, almost more than anything, and I hate to, one cuisine or culture that I like so much. But anyway, and the problem with Japanese food, I love Japanese food, but I love the rice too. And if you just have plain fish, well, you need a lot of fish and it's plain and it's boring. I love tuna. I mean, maguro, and then if you go with the toro or the chutoro, etc., well, you can fill up on that, but that's getting pretty darn expensive. I mean, those pieces are fine to mix in with your whole dinner. If you have 2-3 pieces of chutoro or something, that's enjoyable. But to have 8 to 10 ounces or 12 ounces or whatever you need of the protein, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and it doesn't make sense for me or for most people. So I stick mostly, to meats. Last night I had chicken. I just bought the rotisserie chicken. It was crisped up in the oven for, 15 minutes to half an hour, but the skin got really crispy. I find a lot of times when you buy these chickens, if you put them in the microwave, it's gonna come out all soggy. yeah, it'll be hot, but it'll be soggy. And so this way, the skin got really nice and crispy. And that was great. And so I have a Inner Beauty sauce that I use, a very spicy. I don't think they call it Inner Beauty sauce. Inner Beauty sauce was invented at the East Coast Grill, but it's a similar recipe of a spicy sauce which features a little bit of orange juice. You say, okay, orange juice is just gonna take you out of ketosis, but no, not a little bit that's in the sauce, which is a pretty spicy sauce. Goes really great with things like ribs and chicken in particular. So I really like that. I will show you the bottle next time. I highly recommend it again. East Coast Grill is out of business. The grill master there sold it a long time ago, and someone else is making their own version of his Inner Beauty sauce recipe, and it's very, very good. So I highly recommend that. And again, just a few little bit to flavor up your food will not ruin your ketosis. So that's a good thing to know. And otherwise, you know, the more hearty meats, the steaks and the lamb chops and all those kinds of things, well, those don't need much. They just need salt and pepper. You got a little garlic spray, you could do that. You know, it's a nice meal. Well, that's my dinner. And so I'm able to maintain this at this point, especially when you're at home. When you go out to restaurants, it can be more difficult. If you can go to a place and can do a simple grilled item, that works. This is a whole different thing than the Wegovy diet that I want to gravitate to. I want to get off the RAD diet and onto the Wegovy diet, which is smaller portions of more normal foods with sauces, with calories, but just in total, obviously lower calories so that you're not gaining weight. And that's the whole point of the thing. So as I mentioned, you know, I do have one side effect. It's the big C. I have the big C, and it's not as bad as you might think it is. I'm not talking cancer, please. I know cancer is very serious. I'm not trying to make this sound like cancer, but it is a side effect that I'm having, whether it's from my RAD diet or it's from the Wegovy. It's something that I'm experiencing. It's constipation. Okay, Jesus, it's enough already. Warning signs, boys and girls, please do not watch this if your parents don't want you to be affected or hear these kinds of things or think of these concepts. Okay, I know that's a little much. Please, boys and girls, don't listen to this when I come up with words like that. And otherwise, yes, so I've been going through that. Actually, the word that people use on TV, because they don't like to use this word, is regularity. I never really put two and two together. I mean, I guess I knew what regularity meant, but it means the lack of irregularity. Well, I guess I have irregularity. We can use that. I mean, what's irregular though? Who is regular? What's the standard here? People don't really talk about it, and I'm not gonna go there. I'm just not gonna go there. What's the standard here for how many times you're supposed to go number 2? I don't know. But I have to tell you one thing, with this irregularity that I am experiencing with Wegovy and with the diet that I'm on, I don't feel really bloated and terrible. And now I am going because I'm taking, well, let me tell you what I'm taking. Here's what I'm taking. I'm first taking the Metamucil 3-in-1 capsules. This is the generic version of these. And I take 3 in the morning and 3 in the evening. Now they say take 5 at one time, so that should be really probably 10 and 10, and they say take it 4 to 5 times a day. Well, that's 20 pills a day. I'm trying not to go there. Well, it's a lot of pills, and again, it adds up. I'm trying to keep the cost down. If you add up all these little things I'm doing, it does add up. So I'm not trying to do more, I'm trying to do less. It's not fun to take so many pills. I'm taking 2 stool softeners that I get from CVS. They're 250 milligrams. I guess those are extra strength. And you think, boy, just one of those 2 alone would do it. But I don't walk around feeling all bloated and disgusting because I think it's because I'm just not eating that much. So I'm just not as bloated because I'm eating less food. There's just less going in, there's less to digest. That's it. The stomach or, the intestines, they have less work to do. And there's more room, I guess, to walk around and to not feel that irregularity. So, I just don't. I feel okay, even though I'm going through this and now things are coming out. But again, not like I'd like. So I stepped it up and got something else. I got MCT coconut oil capsules. I got them and I take 3 a day, 2 in the morning and 1 at night. And someone said, oh my God, that's actually supposed to make you feel better. It's supposed to be a little bit Wegovy-like and help you not want to eat as much, make you feel full. Okay, well, we'll just add that on. It's supposed to be super good for you, coconut oil. And that's what I'm taking as well. But people have said, well, one person said to me, I hope she's right, that it's supposed to also have a side effect to promote regularity. There, I'm out with it. That's what I'm taking, and that's what coconut oil is supposed to do. And there you go. That's what I'm up to stay regular. Well, I'm not regular, or to help address my irregularity. And I guess collectively, it helps. It's certainly manageable. If I were to pick one word to describe my irregularity, it would be manageable. Okay? It's manageable. I can deal with it right now. We'll have to see where it goes and monitor it.